Good morning and welcome. It's Good Morning Anambra Show on ABS Television. Today is Friday, the 16th day of December 2022, and we're so delighted to be here again. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Welcome to the show. We begin with the press review. My first time. All right, you're welcome to the press review. On press review, as usual, it's audience participatory. You can join us when the time comes with the phone lines you'll see on your screen. And of course, we have some rules here. When you want to join us, you tune down the volume of your television set, or you move away from there completely. Go straight to the point, tell us your name and your location, and of course, your opinion on any issue raised here. In the studio, I have two gentlemen to help us with the papers. Onyedika Ewe is a public affairs analyst. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Danambra.
Right, Ejike Abata is also a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the studio, Ejike.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
All right, we'll begin with stories making their headlines on ABS website. Anambra State government approves a contract for roads in Ifite-Dunu, hybrid solar-powered mini-grid, others. Soludo receives PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, tasked politicians on peaceful coexistence. Anambra AIAG, Ifemeje warns of tough consequences for sexual offenses, domestic violence. And Soludo flags off distribution of relief materials to communities affected by flooding in Anambra. All right, let me begin with you, Ewe. What's your take on some of the stories raised here, especially the road rehabilitation that is currently ongoing? In fact, I passed through Unizik temporary site yesterday. I had to wriggle out from the traffic there because work is seriously ongoing there.
Yes, it's amazing to note, first of all, that the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, he applied for the approval of Anambra Legislative Arm for a loan of 75 billion naira for road rehabilitation and other works. And to the glory of God today, he has never borrowed one kobo and has flagged off over 230-kilometer roads in Anambra State, which shows that our tax is working for us and our governor is really seriously working. So we are very happy. 2 weeks ago, I went to Awa in Orumba South local government, Orumba North local government area, and what I saw there was so amazing. At least the people there can come back home for this Christmas period, and it's not what they saw previously that they're going to see this time around. So to me and to every Anambra here and those in diaspora, Soludo is really working. Get to that side at Unizik Junction, Bakaleke Street. In fact, every local crane of Anambra State, this massive road construction. Yesterday I saw him where he used his elephant tusk to be measuring the depth, of the road, whether it's, so maybe that thing is his meter rule or whatever he's using it, to do the measurement. So the man is very, very serious, and this visitation that has gone, has been unscheduled, to make sure that work is really going on, because he has really empowered the contractor. So to him and to us, there's no need scheduling a day to go and inspect whether you are working or you are not working. So everywhere is work, and we are really happy, that work is really going on with that pace that is going. The speed is very alarming. So we thank him, and we thank Anambra too for, the cooperation we are giving to the governor to ensure that his mandate to the Anambra people is fully delivered. So thank you very much. We are really working.
All right, Ejike, yesterday, actually, anybody that came into Awka will know that something happened in the state yesterday. Actually, they passed me on the road, though I couldn't recognize them because most of the vehicles had no plate number. Talking about the visit of the presidential candidate of the PDP and the statement from our governor tasking all the politicians on peaceful coexistence as they received the presidential candidate of the PDP.
I want to also commend Atiku for finding it worthy to go visit the governor, even though they are not of the same party. And also for the governor for receiving him personally, not assigning his deputy. The governor stated the obvious. At this point in time, given the rate at which politicians bicker amongst themselves, it's only normal for him to advise them to play by the games. You don't have to insult your opponent or report news that are not real about it in order for you to win the elections. So it's a good outing for Atiku. It was received by supporters of PDP in the States. Let's see how it goes at the end of come February 2023.
All right, we move on now to the New National Star newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines on the New National Star. Ships will bet at Onitsha if PDP wins. That's Atiku vows. Says he will facilitate Igbo presidency and wealth creation. And train crushes woman to death in Abuja, several others injured. We'll talk 2023 Biden cautions Buhari INEC against partisanship. Also on the New National Star, police uncover biggest IPOB ESN bomb factory in Southeast. Reprieve for APC as appeal court restores Rivers candidates. Ebonyi Kogi Rivers record highest rate of inflation, NBS speaking. All right, I don't know if we are going to look at the banner headlines of Atiku vowing to facilitate Igbo presidency when he gains a seat as the president of this nation, and of course, wealth creation. Says that ship is going to bath in Onitsha.
Okay, the first thing I think I look into is the bathing of the ship in Onitsha. To me, it's long overdue. It's an economic plus to the nation and to Southeast. If we really, as a nation, understand that the Igbo people are the major traders in this country, and God has blessed the Igbo people with a river like the River Niger, it's supposed to be something that should be of economic value to the nation. So Atiku Abubakar saying it, I think he is so much particular about the economic viability of the country and the expansion, of the economic base of the nation from Lagos to the Onitsha Seaport thing. And the Igbo presidency thing, in my own thinking, I think the time is now, okay? The time is now. But whichever way, let the will of God prevail so that the nation will be at peace with each other. Thank you very much.
All right, we move on now to the next paper, the Punch newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines on the Punch newspaper. We'll begin with the picture in front of the Punch newspaper. Tanker fire rocks Oyo community, destroys a property. I wonder when this will end in Nigeria, and who knows, the damage is already done. All right, banks run out of new naira, demand soars. Cashiers ration new notes, lenders allot 100,000 per teller in banks. Suspicious customers snub new notes as local traders reject new currency. Court declines to stop CBN withdrawal policy. MFN meets reps Tuesday. 407 billion naira debt. Adeleke vows probe. Oyetola's aide slams governor. EFCC protests as Ekweremadu blames commission for detention. Seriki's death, shocking. Buhari, Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu mourn. Tearful relatives, friends send Sami Okposo home. And we can see inflation pushes 5 million into poverty. Wage value down 35%. PDP APC clash as Biden hails Buhari. Diaspora Nigerians to renew passports on arrival. Ejike, which one are you interested in taking?
Well, not much has been done as regards public awareness when it comes to the new Naira notes.
Okay.
First, we were told the rollout will commence yesterday. I was at the bank yesterday. I even made withdrawals and I was issued old notes. Some persons went to the ATM, they withdrew old notes as well. The expectation has been dampened. People were hoping to
get the new notes yesterday.
And we were told, excuse me, that only 200 naira will be dispensed at the ATM, but people withdrew up to 1,000 naira notes from the ATM. So many mix-up in the whole information. People are even rejecting the new notes because not much awareness has been created, especially when in rural areas. You don't expect a local market woman to accept a new note from. Some of them might not have even heard that there's a new or redesigned Naira note in town. So we have not had any jingle on radio talking about the arrival, new Naira note. So there is so many things that still needs to be done. The new Naira notes should be, as the CBN governor promised before yesterday, they should be dispensed so that we begin to phase out the old Naira notes. If not, come January 31st, so many persons will still have the old Naira notes with them, and it will be a problem. So let them begin to, in fact, I expected to see enough new Naira notes as yesterday.
There's something I keep saying, you know, this our Naira, which is our property as a nation, even if I hold that Naira or old notes beyond 31st January, am I not supposed to walk into any bank, give it to them, and they give me the new one in circulation? That is how it's done anywhere in the world. I've done that in the UK. I've done that. I got one old pound or something. Then they said there's nothing wrong with it. I should go with it. That when I get there, I should just walk into any bank. I just walked into any bank. Met one lady there. I don't live there. I don't know anybody. The woman just asked me. I showed him. She collected it immediately and gave me the new one that they are using. So what is wrong with us as a people?
We keep doing things the wrong way in Nigeria. We don't learn the right things from those who are way ahead of us. I wonder why we should have a timeline. Honestly, when it comes to exchange of
to give room to every other person.
I bet you there will still be a problem after January 31st. There's no need for that time. It's just like this continuous voters registration. Why can't we continue registering people before election? The gap we have with 2-3 years before election, why can't we continue registering people? Why must we wait
when I give birth to a child and the child gets to 18 years, I can just
walk in and get
the system is there. The personnel are there. So I wonder why, giving a time bar for everything here. Just like you said, I've had 2 different notes of 20 pounds here. And I went to my market, I did change the 2 of them. No, I was worried. How would this be, different notes? And for crying out loud, when I got to the exchange line in the main market, they took it and gave me the Naira equivalent, and I said, wow, this is an economy working. So the CBN, I think they should design a way of, guiding and
allow
guarding
people to hold their money. Anytime you can walk into the bank.
This is Nigerian currency, for crying out loud. You know, Nigerians, you know, operating in this currency should be allowed to operate in the currency, and then gradually they will be withdrawing it as the money is getting into the banking system. From there, it faces up. Then giving Tamba, and Tamba, just like my brother said, he went to bank yesterday. They couldn't even give him the new currency. So
and yesterday was 15th December.
So how is the bank really working towards, you know, implementing what they've said that they will do? So it's very unfortunate. So I advise, let there be a continuous usage of this thing, and then gradually you'll be retrieving this money, and then within some time you're not going to see the money anymore, than giving people unnecessary pressure, especially at this time, you know, to begin to go. And then when you get that place, there is an issue of a cashier collecting 100 naira from, you know, it's extortion, for crying out loud. So they should, you know, do. I mean, this is very unfortunate, and you know, I don't really understand the system we are understanding. So let the monetary policy makers try to, you know, look into all these things and find a more feasible way of making this easier for the poor masses. Thank you.
All right, the Daily Independent newspaper is next in our lineup. Let's see stories making their headlines on the Daily Independent newspaper. Sorry, we moved to the next paper. We can't take that Daily Independent. I think it's yesterday's paper. On this day newspaper, we have more stories there. This day newspaper is next. We are looking at article. I'll be stepping stone to Igbo presidency. I'll be stepping stone. I'm taking this day newspaper. And 2023, Tinubu lacks mental alertness, unfit to be president. That's PDP insists. We have Biden, Buhari, role model for democracy in Africa. Kanu, Sharia court sentences scholar to death for blasphemy. Higher food, energy, import costs drive inflation to 21.47%. We have riders there severe in Ebonyi, Kogi Rivers. Again, World Bank urges Nigeria to remove import restrictions, adopt single FX rate, and says a country has lost its rising growth status of the 2000s. El-Rufai, things won't get better in the next 3 years of next administration. Insists next president must take urgent, tough decisions. FG seeks local foreign help to fund NDP. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from former AGF. Buhari, Atiku, Gbajabiamila, Sanwo-Olu, others mourn as Nigeria's envoy Seriki dies of cancer. All right, Tewe, Titon, I don't know which one we're taking. Is it higher food, energy, import cost, or which other story are you looking at? So, Tinubu lacks mental alertness. Coming from the PDP, the opposition.
Tinubu lacking mental alertness, I think is politically induced. In politics, everyone uses whatever he or she feels like the weakness of the opponent in order to talk down on their person for him to have a popular, you know. But I think it's the medical experts that have this
in better position
to say whether he has it or he don't have it. But I'm so concerned about the Biden praising Buhari. At the same time, the World Bank, placing us where we really are. So I don't know the yardstick the president of the America used to make this man give him this kind of accolade. But the real thing is that the World Bank has really said it all, where we belong. And you look at serving governor of Nigeria, El-Rufai, really hitting it hard where we belong today. It's not funny. There's need for a very serious change, and bringing in somebody that will really look into the economy and face it hard and confront it the way it really has to be confronted. The praises are giving this man whatever he says, democracy in Africa. I don't know what he has seen as his achievements to warrant this. This is not the way he's ruling the United States. This is not the way he's uniting the United States indigenes. that will make him to see this. But whatever way, I think he has his right to his own opinion. But here we are not seeing the same thing, and we're not really saying the same thing. That's it.
You're not seeing the card from the view of Biden.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. I don't know, Ejika, are you going to look at the rate of inflation and where it's biting hard, and the statement from El-Rufai there that things will not get better in the next 3 years for the incoming government of Nigeria?
I'm usually worried when those at the corridors of power say our economy has improved. We've done this in the past years. We've increased GDP. We've done this and all of that. Whereas those on the streets don't feel the impacts. That is where my problem is. If you ask the information minister, he will give you statistics of what they've been able to do in the economy, where they made the economy and what it is now. But
and even what they did to cushion the effects
and what they did
on the masses.
On the masses, they will give you so many.
Education, I hope you got the
even the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs says everybody in Anambra got that money.
In Anambra?
Yes.
Okay.
She said everybody in Anambra got that money.
Without stepping a foot in the state.
So there are, when they make such claims, you begin to ask yourself, fuel today is above 300 naira. A bag of rice is almost 50,000 naira. Everything is on liquid, and gas is at about 900 naira per kg. Kerosene, 1 liter of kerosene is almost 1,000 naira. So what impacts? Where are the impacts? Who are the people? Who are the people feeling the impact of these things themselves? Inflation, obviously, it's hitting and biting hard on us. Of course, they don't feel it because the money they spend is not theirs. They have extra code. They have people who go to the market. They throw money around the way they want. So if a bag of rice costs 50,000, and they don't know about it, they don't go to the filling station to buy fuel. So if you tell them fuel is at 300 naira, they say no, the official rate is 165 naira. I bet you the government will still insist today that official price, fuel is 165 naira. Whereas we are buying fuel at above 300 naira. So it's very obvious that those who are meant to feel the impact of whatever achievements they claim to have gotten are not feeling it. As for the comment by El-Rufai, it's good that he's of the APC and he has stated the fact. I wouldn't know if he meant to make that comment coming from a political party that is ruling at the center. Nigeria in the next 3 years, things will be difficult according to him. That is the reality. In fact, I feel pity for whoever will be the president of Nigeria because Nigerians will come hard at such persons. Well, this is not the time for you to begin to make promises because it will take a whole lot of time for you to record an achievement that will be feasible to Nigerians.
That will be felt immediately.
That will be felt immediately. It will take a whole lot of time. So the politicians should be cautious of the kind of promises they make now. Because things are not what they think. They are not what they say they think it is. So I feel pity for whoever will be the next president. And I only pray that Nigerians give whoever emerges the needed cooperation so that we'll live where we are at the moment because everybody is feeling it hard.
All right, it's Press Review on ABS Television. You're here and you have the opportunity to call us with the phone lines on your screen. Make your own contribution or any suggestion you feel necessary here on any issue raised. All right, we move on now to the Nation newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines on the Nation newspaper. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from Accountant General Idris. Agency remits 136 billion naira in 7 months, and politicians under watch. Still on the Nation, marketers behind petrol scarcity, high pump price, says Pengasin. Okay. Banks roll out new Naira notes. Adeleke Etola trade worth over 407.32 billion Naira debt. Nigeria secures a $9 billion loan. Biden praises Buhari for deepening democracy. Buhari, Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, Mon Seriki, others Mon Seriki. Okay, which one are you looking at? Is it the recovery of the money from EFCC, from Accountant General?
It's a commendable thing. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is really working on the recovery of looted Nigerian funds. We really appreciate, their efforts on this aspect. But Nigerians, to be sincere, are worried over what happens to these recovered funds. Of course, there must be, retirement of outflows. As you are telling us what you have really recovered, where have you kept this recovered fund? What have they been used to do? At least you are hearing of another loan of $90 billion. It's a very huge amount of money. And I must tell the federal government that this excessive borrowing of money
is $9 billion.
Okay, $9 billion. It's a whole lot of money. $9 billion, it's running into trillions. It's not more than that in Naira. And I will tell you that you are mortgaging our future by this,
who knows? Maybe they will waive it for us. Sometime our president when they are asking for them to forgive the loans. Who knows?
Remember that we have been asked. The way you really spend money. How do you expect the World Bank to forgive your loan? Okay. You have money. It's just inefficient monetary management of this fund that is disturbing us. So a good nation a good financial manager cannot see Nigeria the way Nigerians operate, especially in abroad, and say we will forgive you for this. We have to even increase the interest rate for this country. So I am advising we reduce this level of loan borrowing. Let the federal government come and take a leave from Professor Charles Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, who is using his internally generated revenue to work in his state, and it's really working for him. Then every year, every quarter of the year, you keep on borrowing without any effect in the economy. I am telling you that you are mortgaging the future of Nigerians, the youth, because you will go within some years and then we will come on board, be inheriting lots of debts. It's a worrisome situation, and we call on the federal government to stop this borrowing and look inwards. Nigeria has a lot of natural resources. Nigeria has a lot of internally generated revenue source that we can, work hard towards developing all these sources, and we have a lot of money to work in our federation than keeping on borrowing money, like lazy people.
And can't we even cut down on some excesses?
Let's take a leap from this Anambra State governor. He has applied for loans. See, he has never borrowed, and he's working very, very well. So can't we, take a leap? Can't you come and seek this advice from him? How is he, doing it? So that we start doing it as a nation. All our IGR resources will, enhance them to start working for us.
Okay.
Than keeping on borrowing, and we're getting sick of this.
All right, moving on. The Guardian newspaper now is next in the lineup. Banks ration new notes as circulation trickles, with riders there pay out in old notes, complain of limited supply. Emefiele right reps defers appearance. Lawmakers push someone to next Tuesday. About the residents here to see new Naira notes. Banks in Kaduna, Kano limit payments to 2,000, 3,000 Naira. Adeleke alleges Oyetola left 407.32 billion Naira debt, got more loans after losing Guba polls. EFCC behind London court travel, Ekweremadu tells judge. Ebonyi can never be part of Biafra, says Governor Umahi. It will take North 40 years to catch up with South, says World Bank. Ejike, I don't know, this statement by Governor Umahi, I think that man that is dishing out, yes, it's from Ebonyi State. Mm-hmm. So what are we actually saying?
It's laughable that, in fact, the silence of the federal government as regards Simon Ekpa's case is suspicious, because if somebody in faraway Finland,
and you're from the same state, your governor is saying that your state is not a monk,
could stay wherever they are and issue such threats that leads to loss of life and properties, here in Nigeria, and the federal government is not saying anything about it. I don't know what it will take the federal government to contact Interpol in Finland and get that man arrested. As regards the statement by David Umahi, what do you expect him to say? He's a member of the APC, so he wouldn't want to make statements that would seem as if he's on the side of the opposition or those who seemingly do not want Nigeria to thrive. He wouldn't want to be in the bad books of the APC. So the statement he made is only natural as a politician, the position that he is, but he will never be part of Biafra. But I would have loved for him to also rein in on Simon Ekpa. If he's at the seat of power, it won't cost much. It's just a phone call. Lay complaints, write email if required to the police in Finland, and they will get him arrested. That's the same way Abraham, a Yoruba man who castigates Ndibo
and was threatening them to leave Lagos.
Yes, he was arrested in London. So why can't we do the same to Simon Ekpa? Because his statements, his actions have led to loss of life and property. In fact, I heard he has called off the sit at home, probably because of the pressure that has been mounted on him recently. These are things that I expected to have been done for a long time.
I think the people that took up this thing is CSOs. There is this body that they were the first people to write the Finland embassy in Abuja.
Even Ndibo in Ireland and then London also took up the matter by themselves and then asked him to come down and explain whatever things he has been saying. So these are things that I expect to have happened long before now. But no time is late. Let's see if this will bring an end to the threats and the destruction Simon Ekpa has brought on Ndibo.
All right. Before we get to the last paper, can we look at this? It will take North 40 years to catch up with South, says World Bank. I don't know why this is coming. Is it because of invasion of Boko Haram or whatever? What could make them to think this way?
Economic reality, you know, when you get to the north, you will see high level of poverty, you know, compared to what you see in the south. No matter the hardship we say we are experiencing here, we work very hard in the south. For real, it's not because of my south, but you see us. It's a never say die thing. It's a never give it up thing. We keep on working to make sure that ends meet. But when you get to that place, I think when Mr. President said that Nigerian youths are lazy, I think he's referring to the youths of the northern Nigeria because, yeah, for real, when you get to that place, you will understand what I'm telling you. There's high level of, you know, reluctance towards improving oneself, one's, you know, economic well-being. Here, we can go push back wheelbarrow to, you know, feed, to buy some, you know, clothes, do lots of peasant works, to, you know, in order to make ends meet. But there, I mean, I don't even know these policies that the federal government, you know, is formulating, and, you know, and you see the impact that is more of, you know, positive at that side. Still, but when you get to the grassroots, you will pity these people that, you know, so it's not my own analysis. It came from experts, okay, to say that it's going to take them 40 years. So they've really seen beyond what I have seen as a layman to bring this invasion. It's an advice to the leadership of this northern Nigerian states and to the federal government to really look deep into what is really causing this, and how we're going to take care of all these problems in the northern Nigeria, because when you balance it all, Nigeria will be a better place for all of us. So we really have to work very hard to know how best we empower our people. I mean, real empowering our people, not political empowerment this time around, but, you know, let it be of real, that we look into the plights of our people, the yearnings of our people, to, you know what the people really need, not, you know, assuming that this is what they need, but, you know, identifying with them, having a discussion with them. Okay. What do you really need? How do you really need to be empowered? Okay. How do we take you out of this poverty? Because that is the essence of government. All right. You know, so.
All right. Let's see the last paper, but not the least. This morning, the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines on the Daily Trust newspaper. IPOB, food traders boycott Southeast as northerners flee. We have riders there. Prices of perishable items, other foodstuffs soar over blockade. We've lost at least 100 persons in 1 week. That's coming from group. Comply with stay-at-home order to avoid danger. Hausa community leader speaking. Umahi declares war on separatist leader Eba. Okay, we move on now. Let's see. NNPC oil theft onslaught yielding results as production hit 1.59 million barrels daily in December. Food inflation rises to 24% as festive season sets in. EFCC remits 136 billion naira, recovers 30 billion naira from suspended accountant general. INEC 53 attacks recorded on our facilities. DSS warns against commodities price hikes. Train crushes woman driving across rail line. And that's the picture in front of the paper. Does it mean there are no signs that train is coming, or she did not actually hear the sign? Because I know there's this, there's one sound that you hear to tell you that train is coming, even when it's at a very long distance before where you are.
Well, it is said that dead people tell no tales. So we don't know what happened and how she managed to lose her life in such circumstances. It's a pity. And if there are no signs, let's assume there are no signs, I urge the NRC Railway Corporation to make sure they have signs where they ought to, so that people, those who make use of that area, will be aware. And you know, nothing is impossible in Nigeria. I'm not saying, but peradventure, the trains does not have that. The trains, there's the sound. These are things that, in fact, I don't think any train will operate outside Nigeria without sound.
Okay, so, we quickly comment on the death of Seriki before we wrap up the show. They say Buhari, Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, others mourn Seriki. I think we comment on that as we wrap up the show. I send condolences to members of his family. He was an envoy, a former ambassador in Nigeria, and these are elder statesmen whose advices and opinions count at a time like this. But nobody rejects the call of nature. God bless his soul, and I send my condolences to members of his family. Quickly.
Yeah, an elder statesman like him, we really pray God to forgive his shortcomings and grant his gentle soul and eternal rest in his vineyard.
All right, and that's just about it on the press review for this morning. We'd like to appreciate you gentlemen in the studio. Onyedika Ewe, thank you so much for being here this morning.
It's my delight. Thank you very much.
All right, we also thank you, Ejike Abata, for your time this morning. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And that's it on Press Review. We have more coming on Good Morning Anambra Show. Just stay.